Another thing on this slide that we already touched on is the intent versus effect. This is an effect law, not an intent law. You could have no intention of being discriminatory that does not play out in a court. All right? You can't say, I didn't mean, sorry, too late. So be careful. Just stick to talking about the house. You don't have to worry about it. Terrorism has become an issue. You cannot screen people differently based on race, color, religion, national origin, sex, familial status. I suspect he's a terrorist. I'm going to give him a different background. You guys know who Harold and Kumar are? Anybody ever seen that? Kal Penn and John Cho, two comedians that play these characters called Harold and Kumar. And Harold and Kumar go to Guantanamo Bay. John Cho is Asian, and Kal Penn is Middle East. All right? Don't know if he's Indian or I think. But in the one scene, he's standing in the airport line to go through the metal detector, and he looks down the line, and it's like all white males in three-piece suits and him. And the TSA guy walks down the line and grabs him and goes, random security check. He's like, random my ass. You know, you can't do that. You can't screen differently. Don't profile. So this is what I'm getting at. Now, there are some enforcement. You have 1 year to file a grievance with HUD if you think there has been a violation. There's a 1 year time frame to do that. If, when it gets filed, at the top there on page 43, HUD has 100 days to determine if there's a cause for this violation. So when someone, let's go back to what we talked about earlier. Remember I told you potential exemptions for sale by owner, doesn't advertise, but he walks up and says, I don't want to sell to any Martians. He did it orally, and I said he may get away with it. Suppose this Martian now goes and files a suit. All right? There's 100 days for them to look at that and go, yeah, there may have been a problem. We need to see what's going on. The very first thing that HUD will try is this thing called conciliation. There on page 43. Conciliation is the really technical term for kiss and make up. All right? Conciliation is where they get both parties and they go, hey, look, what's the problem? Are you sorry? Promise you'll never do that again? Are you okay with that answer? If everybody agrees, they will let it go. All right? So it's kind of like a formal apology. Hey, man, I'm sorry I said that. I didn't really mean it. Do you still want to rent? I'll rent to you. And the Martian's like, okay, I accept that. Good, we're done. If conciliation is not possible, where one says, I don't like that answer, or the landlord goes, they will go in front of what's called an ALJ. An American, no, that's not right, administrative law judge. That's a little Freudian slip. An administrative law judge. The administrative law judge is the worst judge in the world because they are judge, jury, and executioner all in one. And ALJs don't technically have to be judges. Yeah. Do you know small claims judge in Indiana doesn't have to be a judge either? Doesn't have to be a lawyer. They almost all are, but don't have to be for small claims. So the ALJ, or the administrative law judge, will listen to both sides, and if he determines, yes, there has been a violation, he then will assess a penalty. Now, in this particular case, the penalties are already defined for you. The first time offense is like 16 grand. The second time's like 37, and then it goes to 70,000. And trust me, if you've been found guilty 3 times in 7 years of violating the fair housing, you might want to rethink your career job. All right? If you're not smart enough to catch on by the first or second time, I want to rethink what you're doing. Every state has their own agency. Indianapolis has an Indiana Department of Housing. If there's a claim, you could make a claim to HUD, but because we have a state agency, they'll kick it down to the state and let the state take care of it at first. So there are state agencies to make sure that would deal with our claim. So if someone in here makes a claim, it would get kicked down to the state. The also other thing I wanted to talk about was if it's a race case, if it's a violation of the Civil Rights Act of 1866, that's a federal court case out of the gate. All right? If you violate because I'm not renting to you because of insert a race there, that's a federal court case out of the gate. You lose that, you could be subjected to, here's my favorite word of the day, unlimited punitive damages. What's unlimited? A lot. Punitive means punishment. They could punish you by awarding somebody $100 million. I've never seen that happen, but I'm just telling you. The law says there's an unlimited amount that you can find for punitive damages if you violate the race card. And what's better, E&O insurance doesn't cover that. Your errors and omissions, that would fall under the dumbass clause. All right? Now, not only can your client be a victim or be subjected to fair housing violations, so can you. Because you are an extension of your client. If your client has been harmed, you have been harmed as well. You can file a racial discrimination case. Even though I'm a white male, if my client was discriminated because of his race and he wants to file suit, I can join his suit and file along with him because I got harmed. I didn't get my commission. All right? So it plays for us as well. What's the implication for you? The implication for you is you better do what's right, because theoretically you could lose your license, you could get punitive damages, $8, $9, $10 million, lose your career. I mean, you could be in this business 20 years and lose it like that. You can lose your license first time if you do something stupid, plus be fined. So just be really careful. Any questions on fair housing? Very serious. They don't play with this. It is something, I don't want to scare you, but I just want to make you aware of. Understand what you're doing. The only thing that I tell everybody is there's only one thing you guys should discriminate on. What is it? Do they have money? If you got money, I'm your guy. If you don't, I can't work with you. I don't care what race, color, religion, national origin, sex, familial status, or disability you have. If you got credit and you want to buy, I'm the guy to help you. If you don't, hasta la vista, baby. Any questions? All right, I think we're good for the day.